So here I'm going to explain the code implemented to do attendance using a face recognition system. So firstly, to do a face recognition system, basically we need a data set, right? So to create a data set, we use a face detection this file to extract to capture the database. As you all know, we are using OpenCV library in an Python. In an OpenCV library, we have an CV2 model where we will import CV2 module from OpenCV. So next, once we import CV2, we can access the webcam, like we can access the camera. For that, here this line video capture class is used to access the camera. It allows a system to use a camera. If we are using a system for a default camera, we will give a value as 0, or else we are taking an other camera, we can keep the value it as 1. So here we are going to access the camera. So next we are using an R cascade frontal phase algorithm, right? Here it is used for detecting the face. So here cascade classifier is a class where we are taking R cascade frontal XML file, and we are creating a object cascade. So next we are taking while loop. So we are taking while loop because we want to iterate the photo, right? So if it does not put while loop, only photo will be captured. We need a repeated photo where it will create an video. So here we are taken flag value, that is boolean value, true or false. So here my file where the photo image will be the captured image will be stored here in the my file. So cam.read is used to read the image. The captured image will be read by using this read function. Once the image get captured, so here we are going to um, convert the image into grayscale, as machine understands the image in black and white. So we are going to convert a color image to a gray image. That is, we are using a CV2 color function, that is my file, which we want to the image which we want to convert. So CV2 dot color bgr to gray, we are converting bgr color to gray color. So here next, once the image get converted, here in faces it can here faces contain variable values, that is x y, here x y and wh. Here detect multiscale, it is used to capture the image size of the image, and those values will be stored in faces. So here so once the image get detected, here once the image get detected, so we are going to draw a rectangle for the face, that we can come to know whether the image is detected or not. If the rectangle will be drawn, it becomes easier that we can come to know that the face has been detected. So to draw a face, we need a coordinates, right? So here x coordinate, the where the face starts. So from here, this is the x. So from year to year, the only face will be captured. So here we are using x coordinate from where face starts and y coordinate at the end, and this will be the width and height of the face. So for that face, we are going to draw a rectangle, and yeah, here we are going. This is the syntax to draw a rectangle. That is the my file for which image we have to draw a rectangle, and we are going to pass the coordinates x, y, and width and height. From x and y, from x to its width, and y coordinate to its height. So then, if you want to specify the color, we can specify the color of the rectangle. Next, once we have drawn a rectangle, next we are going to show that image. So it will be captured, but we want to see that image, right? For that we are going to use I am function I am show. So here in my window it will be displayed, and the uh, the image which we want to display will be stored in my files, right? So we are going to put that file. So it will be shown to us, but it should be wait, right? uh, so for that we are going to use a wait key. If we use on only I am sure, it will come and go, but we cannot see how much time we need, we cannot see that, right? So we are going to put a function that is a wait key, where how much time it should be displayed. So for that we are going to put an wait key. So once we have put a wait key, next we should exit from that video, right? So for that we are going to take an order function, and we are going to put a pass a parameter that is q. Once we type once we type q in a keyboard, the automatically the video will be stopped recording. So if you want to save a picture of a picture or an image of image, we are going to put a order of S. Once we type S in a keyboard, so then the image will be saved in our folder. So firstly we have to create a folder called dataset. In that we are going to create three files, that is 0 1 2. How much our files we want, we can create, and we can store multiple images in that. So this is the most important thing, that is collecting the data set. So this is ROI. ROI is nothing but region of interest. That how much our face has to be saved. So we are going to save an picture, right? So how much face has to be saved? Only we are detecting the face, right? We need only face, and we don't want background, right? So for that we are going to specify region of interest, how much it has to be saved. We need only face, right? So we have to specify that parameters. Then we are going to use a resize property. That is a standard photo size is picture image size is 300 into 300 pixels. So we are going to give a size of that. So from this size the our image will be saved. So then once we save an image, it should uh, so here we are going to use a random function, where we are importing a random function. So here once we save a photo in a directory, so if we want to save multiple images, so we are going to use a random function, where it gives when we are going to press a S button in a keyboard, it randomly saves our photo in random numbers. So here file path equal to this dot represents the current directory, that and dataset folder, and zeroth file. In that we are going to save the picture of a random number. So you can see here we have saved many images. So like this way, if you want to save multiple images with different names, we are going to use a random function. It gives a random number, and it saves the image, the random function. So next so next once we have done with this, we are going to cam dot release is nothing but we are uh, once we have accessed the camera, we are going to give back to that camera. So next, once we have collected the data set, next we have to train that data set, right? So we are going to create a file, that is train.py. We have created a file. So here to access our directory, here we have a OS module in an Python. So from an OS module we are going to import a list directory. List directory, it is used to get the files or list of files in our directory in our directory. So here we are going to import cv2 and numpy. So here our root directory, we have to specify our root directory. So here we have specified our root directory, that is current directory, and data set. The folder is data set. In current directory folder data set. So here we are using LBPH face recognizer. Face recognizer. This is the algorithm where it contains the facial features where it is used for recognizing the face. For that we are creating a object. For that we are creating an object, and then we are taking a empty list called for features, and empty list for labels, and we are going to initialize I equal to 0. So here we are taking a for loop. So we want to access our folders, right? That is our data set. In that we are going to take a subfolder in a list directory of root directory. We want to access these subfolders, right? For that we are taking a for loop, and we are specify the folder path, that is root directory and subfolder. Next, in that subfolders, we have many files, right? To access these files, we are taking another for loop, and it will be continuously iterate. It will be iterating. So file path, we are giving it as a folder path and file. So my file equal to cv2 dot I am read of file path comma 0. So it will be going to read the file path. So next, once it reads the file path, we have to append the features to that file, and then label. So here we have given a label, right? For one folder we are giving label. So we are going to append that label to a folder, that file. Next, we are incrementing the I value. Next, we are going to print the features and its corresponding labels. So here, recognize dot train features comma np dot array of label. It is nothing but we are going to train the model. So we have a features, as we have appended the features of that file, and here we have features, and we have taken the label in an array format. We have not taken directly the label. We have taken it in the form of array format. So next, once we have trained the model, we have to save that model. For that we are going to give recognize dot save of my model. So the trained features will be saved in this model. That is, in this model, the features will be stored. So once we have trained the model, next we are going to check whether the model is being trained, how much accurate the model has been trained. For that, so here we are importing cv2 module. Next, we are taking a video capture access, that is camera access. Then we are taking the list, dictionary. So here we are taking label and its corresponding name. So here label 0 contain of this person photos, right? So we are assigning the name to that label. Next, recognize equal to face dot lbph face recognizer. We are using a lbph algorithm, and we have trained the model and saved, and we have saved, right? We have trained the features and saved in a model. So we are reading that model. Next, we are using R cascade frontal face XML file. Next, we are capturing the video. that is uh, in frame the here we are going to read an image, that is capture and read an image. If the image is found, if it is true, then the image is converted into grayscale. Then the values detected values, that is values will be stored in an faces. If we found any faces, then we are going to draw a rectangle to that faces, and we are going to crop that image, how much ever image we need. That is a region of interest. We need only face, right? So we are cropping it and giving it a standard size, that is 300 into 300 pixels. So here we are taking two variables, that is ID and confidence. ID is nothing but a person's ID, person's. We have taken a data set of three persons. First person's ID is 0, second person's ID is 1, and third person's ID is 2. So here we have taken ID and confidence. So we are going to predict of that. We are going to predict that person. So confidence is nothing but how much ever the confidence will be low, that much the result the accurate it will be. We are going to print an ID and confidence. If ID will be if confidence will be less than 50, then we are going to take that name. We are going to display that name from that dictionary. So if that if we put an input which has not been trained, it gives us unknown value. So we are going to print the result of prediction. So here if you want to print the result on an picture, on an image, we are going to use a property called cv2 dot put a text. So parameters are frame is nothing but where the captured image will be stored, and name is nothing but what name has to be displayed. So here we have given name, right? So if the we give an input as 0, like this person has given an input, then the name of the first person will be displayed. So we are passing the name which person has to become. Next, position, font scale, color, thickness, all these font properties will be given. So then we want to show that image, right? So the image will be stored in frame, and we are going to show that image. So here we are going to put an wait key. If name is not equal to unknown, so if that name is unknown, if that person is not present in that day, then we are going to save that name in the database, or else we are not going to save that in the database. So here we have done a prediction of the image. So here whatever we have taken an image, and the captured image uh, uh, we are going to put an image input, and we are getting an output, right? Like we are getting the identity of that person, so the his name has to be stored in a database. For that we need we need to access the PHP server and database to access uh, to link the PHP Python to PHP. We have to write an API. So for that, here we need to write an API. For that we are going to install a request library. So here a request helps to connect Python to PHP, where we are going to specify an URL of that PHP. Then URL of that PHP, where the request will be sent to that PHP URL. So here we are creating a function that is saved to db of name. So here while doing so when the name so here when a person comes near the camera and his name will be taken, right? His name will be displayed. uh, so his name will be his name will be passed here. Once that function will be called, his name will be passed here, and we are going to send this parameter to a php, and from there the response will response we get a response from there. We are going to send this parameter to php, and that is response equal to request dot get of we are going to put an url, and we are going to pass a parameter. Once we send a request to a php, it if the response status code is 200, that response will be stored in an data. It will be stored in an data. Here in web, if you want to access dictionary, we are going to use json function, no? So we are going to print that text, response text, that is data, that we are going to print a status and message. Or else if that request is not sent to a php, then it will be the status code will be failed to connect. So once we have done an api, now we have to create a database, right? So for that so now we are going to write a server side we are using a php, that is server side scripting language. So whatever request we are sending from python, it will be sent to a php. So here it specifies the name which is sent from the api, that is dollar name equal to dollar request of name. So that should be displayed in a database, right? So for that so in database so from php we are using mysql. So here the name the requested name will be here, and here dollar sql equal to select start from attendance where name equal to dollar name, and date equal to current date. It specifies the date of that person has been captured. So here dollar $SQL contains the query which has to be executed. So dollar result equal to execute of dollar $SQLi. This is the generic function we have written, that I will be saying. Dollar result equal to it can if this query will be executed, then the result what after execution of the query will be stored in a dollar result. So here I am going to show that execute SQL file. So here in db.php, that is in database function. Here we are going to create one generic function, that is execute of dollar $SQLi. Dollar connect equal to mysqli connect of localhost root. This is used to connect to the database. By using mysqli connect, we are going to connect it, and we are going to give as localhost root, and we are going to put an password, and this is the database name which we want to connect. If the connection is not successful, then it will show the mysqli error. If the connection if the connection gets successful, then the query which has sent the query, that is select star from attendance, that query will be performed, and that query will be performed. If that result is not found, then it will throw an error, or if the query has been performed, then it going to return a result. So here we are going to here from Python we are going to send API, we are going to send a name, that is the captured image will image identity or a name will be sent through sent to PHP. Then the SQLite command will be executed, and $row equal to $result equal to fetch object. Here it going to fetch an object, and then it will be stored in an row. If that object is present, if that row data is present, um, if the row data is present, then the status will be, then what response will be given is that status already saved for the day, not saved to DB. If that row if that person is already present in that day, when he has already taken his attendance, as we are going to do an attendance based project, once the person has been captured, if again if he has been captured, then it will give a response as the person has already saved for the day. If that person is not present for the day, then we have a isset property in PHP, where it will check whether the person is there. If that person is not there, then we are going to perform SQL query, that is we are going to insert his name and his current date and time. Then we are going to execute this SQL query, then the response will be given. So as you know, here we are making use of PHP server, where where the response will be given through PHP. Then your database is used to store the data. Here we are making use of XAMPP server. So I am going to run this file, this project, in a local host. So here you can see your front end, that is attendant details. So here we have created a front end. So here you can see here we have created a front end for storing database. So here we have make use of HTML, CSS, bootstrap and all. Here CSS is used for styling. Here we have taken HTML to create a table. So here we are using Ajax. Ajax is used where once the image has been captured and it is stored in a database, and again next person will be captured and he will be stored in a database, it should be showed, right? Like every time we have to give a refresh to that um, to read that or to show that name. So for that when we use an Ajax Ajax when we use an Ajax, it automatically displays the next person's image data will be displayed. So here we are going to include database, that is this file will be included in this. So you are going to put a SQL you select start from attendance, we need a order, right? We need a recent attendance, right? So for that we are going to give a order by id, descending order, in a descending order. Then we are going to execute this SQL query. Then the data will be fetched, and a row we have created four rows, that is id, name, date, and time. So here the data will be fetched, and this will be called here. This URL will be written here, and we are going to get the attendance. If we are not getting those, if it is failed to fetch those data, then it will give an error, like here error function, error loading data. So here it will show a attendance order. So here the um, person who has been captured and his attendance will be stored in a database. Thank you.